Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ark Survival Mobile. So, today I imagine myself on a little cruise, taking down my boat with my PT named Perry and explore a little bit the island, which even in Ark Mobile, it's still a pretty beautiful sightseeing show, if you will, right? So this is something that this game is amazing about. Imagine this. So this game is almost 7 years old, and still today, I think for a mobile game experience, this game is amazing looking. So it's still immersive, although obviously it has a lot of bugs still and no one's gonna fix them because it's going to be decommissioned pretty soon, but still has a lot going on for it. So just amazing visuals, just amazing immersive. It's I can't find the words right now to describe it, but it's simply great, right? So look at all the details and imagine this tenfold in the new Ark Survival Ascended, right? Oh, and here we have a little visit by one of the titans, right? The titular Titanosaurus, I think, right? So it's the first one I've seen this playthrough. Usually they pop up like 2 or 3. For some reason it popped up here. Usually you get the sighting in either in redwoods or in the swamp. This time around it came up here near the Carnivore Island. I think we're pretty close to Carnivore Island right now. At least that's where we are headed to, because I did have an alternative motive to go this route, to explore this way. I was really hoping, besides sightseeing, to actually maybe be able to see a saber-tooth that I could tame. And this is of course one of the caves that you'll have to do later on, right where that titan is. We will get to caving and we'll get to the caves pretty soon in the game through, because we will need a lot of chitin, and the best way to get chitin is by doing caves, right? So but for the time being, let's just admire this scenery. And a lot of these crazy ducks here. I was a little bit afraid. Sometimes they get aroused and start attacking you. So this titan, this Titanosaurus, just imagined himself as being a little whale and went into the water, and actually he was trying to follow me. So I started moving my raft away from it, because the last thing you want to do in one of these expeditions, let's call them, is to get yourself attacked by one of these big creatures, right? Looking around here, we can see that some of the details are not perfect. For example, that should have been a big cliff in the water. For some reason, the render stops sometime, right? The visual render stops sometime in the game. Also, it makes sense because this is a mobile game, right? So this is where we are right now. We're gonna take off on our little fairy bird here, our little PT, and we're gonna go sightseeing a little bit. Maybe we can catch a glimpse of a larger carnivore that we might be able to tame. So early in the game, best bet for you playing this game, maybe the first or the second time, would be to look for a saber-tooth, because it's easy to tame and is going to help you a lot, including maybe your first run into a cave, right? The saber-tooth can jump. That's very important to know. So here we are going to actually encounter a large carnivore, a medium-sized carnivore if you will, but it's not going to be a saber-tooth, it's actually going to be something else. That scared me a little bit, because you don't want to see this without you being perfectly attentive to what they are doing, right? So obviously a couple of bugs here and there just to piss you off. We'll have to run. Bugs usually drain your burn of stamina and then you're in real trouble. Right, so we're gonna go down to the cliffs again, just so the bugs don't bother us anymore. And unfortunately we couldn't find any saber-tooths. Usually there's a pack of them in this area being spawned close to the cliffs. They're feeding with these different small and medium herbivores. This time around we didn't have the chance to see any of them, so we are just going to move from here just a little bit down the shore. Again, we're gonna sightsee a little bit. And go obviously a little bit deeper into the mountain. Hopefully that maybe where there are cliffs there usually should be one or two saber-tooths, but this time around the game didn't render any. No spawns. However, look at this beautiful thing, and they apparently come in pairs, right? So the griffins, you will get per build, per run, 1 or 2 griffins spawned. Now I do believe there is a method to tame them, and it has something to do with you earning their respect. I remember it's very hard to do, but it is doable. All right, so there's 2 of them, 1 male, 1 female in this area. Pretty low level. I'm pretty sure they can be easily killed, but the idea is not to kill them. All right, the idea is to earn their respect. See, does not respect you. So when that is being shown there, that means you cannot tame them. And probably later down the game we are going to try and tame one of these beauties, because they are so powerful when you tame them, when you train them, and you can do a lot of things with them, right? So there's a pair in this area. If you can get them both and then breed them, that's gonna be amazing. For the time being, we have reached the Carnivore Island, the most dangerous place you could be in Ark Survival Mobile. And again, the render of the game didn't spawn any creatures, or at least that's what it seemed. Starting to move with my PT, with Perry, looking over the island, the small island, to see if anything that I can use it's here. And the first thing that I see is one of the scorpions and a couple of RGs, and finally this is the first saber-tooth that I see in the game, which is really weird. I had to travel all the way here just to see a saber-tooth, which usually they run in packs and you can see them in multiple locations. Alright, and so that's one of them, and the pair of that one is just fighting a couple of RGs there, and the RGs obviously are going to win. It's a darn shame because it was a level 100 female, and unfortunately she's gonna get killed by the RGs, and she just did get killed. So looking at that, you have to cut your losses. The other one is way too small, you can't really do anything with it until it's going to be rideable. It's gonna be a pain in the butt to train, but however I do see this level 100 female RG. The vulture is gonna come very, very much in handy for us. Obviously a very dangerous place to be, and you'll see in a moment why I say that. Except for the saber-tooth and the RGs that you can easily tame, the rest of the creatures that are being spawned here, you usually come here with a medium to large carnivore and train that animal. That's the reason, in my opinion at least, why this island exists in Ark Mobile. Right, so you can't really build something like a taming pen in here and don't get attacked by other creatures. So taming anything here is completely difficult. You're gonna get spawns and spawns of huge carnivores, and taming is not gonna work. Obviously, you can trank any animal, but you won't have enough time to be able to actually tame anything, right? Taming level 100 creature takes up to 2 to actually 3 days in game, right? That's about 45 minutes in real life. So imagine that this is completely hard to do right here, right in this place. Now we're gonna explore a little bit, because this is, again, it's a very beautiful place, and I really like this small island, this carnivore island, the way it is structured. There's also a lot of explorer nodes here. I think there's 5 in total that you can get from the carnivore island, but we didn't come here for that. We just came to, as I said, to sightsee. And what a sight indeed we see right here. That's level 125 Carno. Unfortunately, it's a male. Again, I know he has a pack. I know he's trapped. I could have tried to tame him right there. Basically, what was needed for me to tame this creature here, it was to build a simple taming pen. Very basic. Kill the rest. Trap him there with some of my construction materials, and that would have been it. However, down that shoreline of the island, you are going to see a pack of T-Rexes pretty soon. I've already seen one, I've seen 2 right now, so obviously, yeah, that's not gonna work, right? So T-Rexes are gonna kill everything in a bit, just like they did with that RG right now. And they're not pretty huge. Number one, it's 145, yeah. A great catch if you can catch it. But for me right now, in the early stages, still the early stages of the game, dealing with T-Rexes, it's not something I want to do. Especially when there's one level 145 and it's joined by another small level as well. Now, this is the Carno pack that I was talking about. So if I wanted to chase and tame this Carno here, first of all, I would have had to go and kill the other 2. So just I get rid of all the help this Carno would get, right? Not the greatest color in the game, he's just the green one, but, you know, and something else spawned, a raptor. And raptors usually come in packs, again, so not an ideal place to tame anything. As I said, a lot of creatures that you have to kill to be able to start taming something, so not the best of things to be. So this is the saber again, level 25 male, not really something that I can use in battle. It would take me a lot of time just to train him. Obviously not worth it, right? So you want something bigger, you want something above at least level 70, right? Just to be able to use. So I'm just scouting around, looking at the island. I'm seeing a gold drop which I can't yet get. I don't have the levels necessary to grab gold drops. That is going to, you know, come pretty soon, but not right now. These are the RGs that I've seen earlier. A couple of small levels, but there's also that level 100 female that I really want. I will definitely try to get that one. That's what I'm aiming for. A big RG like that is going to increase my flight game in the future, right? So I'm looking out for that. So now the T-Rexes are getting really restless because they spawn for a little bit already, and hunger, right? The hunger is a big factor in this game. So when a creature spawns in Ark Mobile, well, yeah, you know how that goes. So here I am able to catch a gator, but unfortunately I lost some part of the footage while I was doing that. It was really silly how I got him. I simply ran him over with my boat, and he got inside basically because of the glitch with the rafts. You're passing over something, and you basically the elements are not perfectly intertwined, right? So it's not going to crash into another solid object. You're just gonna pass through it and pick it up and go away with that object. So that's how I was able to catch this. It's a female, it's a level 15, it's a small level. However, they have a huge melee damage, and I can use it as an enforcer, right? And also, if I'm taking a look here, 318 as a weight, it's cool for me because I'm not that heavy usually, so I can actually ride it in combat, right? So what I'm doing right now, I'm going to sleep for 7 hours, allow the passage of time a little bit so I can starve the animal first. I'm going to obviously feed myself first, but I'm going to pick up some narcotics, and I'm going to start the waiting game basically, right? Before taming any of the beasts that you want to tame, you have to wait a little bit, get the beast starving, as you'll see right now. Yep, so the food is decreasing, but not at a rapid accelerated rate. So the best way you want to tame a creature before you narc it down, before you trank it, let it be in the tame, let it exist in the tame basically, untranked. It's not going to break anything because you have stone walls, and gators are not supposed to destroy stone walls. And after that, after you spend the night with the untamed creature on your boat, on your taming pen, you will be able to trank it, and then the food is going to be to 0. And I promise you, the taming is going to be instantaneously, right? So for me here, I did it in reverse basically. I did it wrong, and now I will have to wait for it to actually starve, and just after that I'm going to be able to feed it. But overall, in this trip, right, I was able to actually get something out of the trip itself, so it was not all for nothing. After all, a Sarco is still a good win. So as you can see, after I've started a little bit, the taming process accelerated up to 70%, but now it's going to be a waiting game because it's no longer starving, and obviously it's gonna take a little bit of a while. After a couple of cuts, you can see I managed to tame it, make it my own, and I'm gonna just take the narcotics out of it, give it a name, which obviously is going to be Gator. Just set it to low, following distance, and I'm going to put her on ignore goof whistles, and that's kind of it, right? So now I'm just looking over some engrams, see maybe what I've missed. I missed something important in here. Maybe there's another animal that I can actually tame. I do have the Sarco saddle, and I'm going to try to make it. Unfortunately, a Sarco saddle requires cementing paste, so this is going to be the next thing that I need to gather, right? I will need to create some cementing paste, and that's probably going to be in the next episode that we'll do. It's not a big deal to create cementing paste. We do have all the elements, and we do have the possibility to study all the engrams that we need to get that, right? One way to get cementing paste is actually to hunt down beavers, Castorioides, I think they are called in the game. Kind of hard to pronounce that name, but if you are searching for them, you're gonna find those little beaver dams. And one of the things that those beavers have in their little dams, it's going to be cementing paste. So that's going to be one of our targets, to search the island now for some of these beavers maybe even try to catch one, right? To have one for ourselves, because it is going to be extremely useful to us in the later progression of the game, to be able to harvest wood with them. It's going to be great, but we are getting ahead a little bit of ourselves here. So now we just got our gator back home. We're gonna let it here, get some passive levels, gain some XP from our little friends here, and yeah, that was one of the things that we managed to do in this episode, to get our very first Sarco in the game, right? So now, again, just by passing through the same area that we did before, pretty close to our home, actually, that's an area that's pretty close to our home, we were able to catch another Sarco in the same spot, this time a level 85, and obviously I was not going to lose it. The technique was the same, just pass with the boat, the taming part of the boat on top of the Sarco. The Sarco is going to jump and is going to get into the taming pin. It is the easiest way to get it to basically trap it first, right? So as you can see, it's so panicked, it wants to get out, and because of lack of food, obviously, and it's going to get stuck by itself. It's not going to attack you anymore. I'm trying that a couple of times. I'm just going into the pin while he's still awake, and then moving back, and he's not even bothering to see me, right? So I'm pretty close to it. He could have jumped on me, he could have tried to bite me, whatever. He didn't. He doesn't do that because he is trapped and he's looking for food, so that means it's starving, right? So now it's the good moment to start tranking it, but oh no, our PT somehow started attacking the Sarco. It's one of those things that makes you hate Ark. So I don't know why it was on passive, and unfortunately it started attacking the Sarco when I started attacking the Sarco. So usually when you have your animal on passive, it's going to ignore your target. That's the whole idea of that setting, right? But this time around it didn't do that. So I really need to trank the Sarco now really quickly, because he started to destroy my forge. I really don't want him to do that. He's a sore loser, that's why he's doing that. Sarco trying to destroy a forge because he can't get to me. So 40 arrows later I was able to, and all shot to the face, 40 arrows later I was able to trank it and put it to sleep. There you go. So looking at it, we have it tranked. We are going to look into the inventory, and food is 0, so the perfect taming situation, right? Right, Perry? Alright, Perry. So I'm gonna use some of the meat on Perry and start feeding the Sarco. And as you can see, it's going really well. He's level 85, so that is going to give me actually some extra levels, and it's going to be great. Yep, so something definitely wrong with Perry this episode. That's just foreshadowing what's going to happen next. So as you can see, it's glitched out completely. It doesn't stop when I whistle it to stop. It doesn't stop attacking the target. It's crazy. These things happen from time to time, especially with flyers. So you have to be careful in Ark Mobile. It used to happen in the desktop version as well, on the computer version as well, but they fixed it a long time ago. But on mobile, I guess no one took the time to look into this, so now I can't even recover it from the gate. My Sarco is now tamed but stuck in the raft. So a lot of glitches today, right? I was able eventually to get it at least outside of the water because I was afraid of piranhas and other stuff being in the water. And yeah, now I have to recover Perry, who's doing something there, I don't know what. And this Sarco is crazy, it's trying to, I don't know exactly what he was trying to do, where he was trying to go. But he drives me nuts, so I pretty much disabled it for the time being. We just put him to neutral, I put him to stop, and again, I'm trying to get Perry out of there, trying to get Perry onto the boat again. It's crazy what's going on. It's definitely glitched 100%. Trying to stop, whistle it to stop, whistle all to stop. Now it's stopped, right? So you'd say, hey, it's fine, you can continue your gameplay. And I'm trying to settle it down again on top of the boat. Eventually I am able to place him there the way I want him to be, so I don't fall into the water when I dismount. And then again it starts glitching out again, so it was on stop. It was basically where he was supposed to be, but I don't get it. I don't know why he's acting like this. So this is one of those very unsufferable glitches in Ark Mobile. Meaning that they didn't fix it even with the last patch that they did. Now, I did lost Perry eventually. I couldn't control it, I couldn't stop it, and eventually he got under the boat, under the raft. Obviously, he died, right? So, bye-bye Perry, we do not have Perry anymore. What we do have here is an opportunity to catch one of these beavers. They are quite low level, yes, I do admit that, but we can work with them, right? Because we do have a lot of time before we will be able to craft saddles for them. So it is an opportunity for us to catch one of those. And also I've seen a level 90 PT female that I could grab and try to get to replace my Perry, right? There's nothing better that I was able to spot in this area, so probably that's going to be what I'm going to chase next time, right? I need to replace my PT because without him I won't be able to tame some of the bigger creatures, because you need a flyer to catch bigger taming enemies. So if you want to catch a large carnivore or a medium carnivore, you will need a PT to fly next to it and to try to lure it to your taming pit. If you want to catch an Argentavis, you're gonna need a PT. You wanna lure it again and to your target area, to your taming pin. And now I'm just basically what I'm doing now is I'm chasing that PT. I'm looking for it. To see where it settles. He needs to settle for a couple of minutes just so I can use the bola and then some trunk arrows to get it down. So, but I won't be able to do it right now. It's very restless. There's a lot of raptors in the area, so it's flying. It's perfectly fine. Speaking of raptors and rafts, you'll see something extremely amusing and extremely funny in these next images that I'm able to catch. So yeah, while I was expecting this PT to land somewhere so I can actually go and try to grab it, this happened. So this raptor, which should never attack any stone-cracked structures, basically, because he's too small to be able to do any damage to a stone structure, started attacking my gate. Why? I can't tell you, but the problem is raptors can get inside your raft because they can get through doors. No matter, that's not a big problem. I'm a good shot. I can kill raptors pretty much in 1 or 2 shots, but for you just to understand that there is the possibility to get attacked by raptors on rafts, okay? So you should maybe place doors. I don't, but you maybe should place some doors just to avoid that. Also, sarcos can get on top of your boats. I just explained that to you. On themselves, or even if you just pass with the raft on top of them, they're going to be on the boat and then they're going to start attacking you. That would be a good thing, like it was for me, because I now have 2 sarcos because of that, but usually that's not a good thing, right? So you don't want to get with the problem. So I'm seeing the PT that I was chasing, the level 91. But unfortunately there's another raptor here, so I cannot attempt to catch it, to ball it, because otherwise I'll trank it and the raptor is going to come and kill her. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to see where the raptor went. The PT is up and running, that's fine, I don't want it to be killed. So looking for the other raptor, and pretty soon you're going to see another strange thing. So this, if I would have had the bola, I could have tried to catch it here on the boat directly. And there's the other raptor, as I said. So that raptor, the only reason this raptor was there was for me when I would have balled the new PT, the raptor would have come and killed my future tame, if you will. So you have to be careful, you have to wait it out. Right, so now I'm just gonna use the raft glitch again. The raptor is pretty much trapped in my floor, so I'm going to kill it with using one of my metal spears, a javelin or whatever it's called, right? So I'm going to kill it directly from the floor and just move on and wait for the PT to get back. Right, so as you can see, it's trapped. This is the raft glitch you can use with different types of animals, obviously. But it can also be dangerous because the same glitch cost me my flyer this episode. So be careful. You can use it, but it can misfire. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So the raptor is underneath the raft right now, and I'm going to kill it using this pike, this javelin. So that's that, right? It takes a little bit of time, and you have to be careful where you're striking, but eventually the raptor is gonna die. One more say here, and he's dead, right? Good. And I think that's kind of it for this episode, but next time we are going to try to catch the PT, and you'll see it's going to be great. Don't worry about it.